Welcome to another Level Up Trading. It is your boy Coach Raj, and today I'm going to be talking about how to manage weight fluctuations. This is probably like one of the number one things that people ask me, clients, people on the street, friends, family, random people, everybody. How do I manage my weight fluctuation? I lost 5 pounds last week, I gained 3 pounds this week. What's going on? A big thing to note before I get into it is that weight fluctuation is normal. You're going to weigh different weight when you wake up and a different weight before you go to bed. It's normal, right? You've eaten food, you've been active, your body's up. It's going to happen. So weight fluctuation is very normal. The range can be dependent, but let's say, for example, you were 190 to 195 and now you're 180 to 185. You still technically lost 10 to 15 pounds. It's just a different weight fluctuation. Okay, so let's get into it. Why does your weight fluctuate? Period, stress, weekend binge, low sleep, poor sleep, low quality of sleep, and sugar. Okay, so let's go into it. So one, your period. Now, when I started helping women specifically 4 years ago, that's when I realized how bad periods could get. I had no idea. You guys could be bedridden sometimes. But over the years and over time, I realized that happens. But even like as bad as it gets, fluctuations are going to happen during this time, no matter how bad or how not bad it gets, right? It can fluctuate between 2 to 5 pounds during your menstrual phase, as well as your luteal phase, right? The phase right before that week comes, your period week, all the rage, all the hell that you're gonna have to deal with. You guys are strong as shit for dealing with it. But this is normal, okay? Your body is going through changes and getting ready to go through hell. I don't have to tell you that, you guys know it. Bloating and weight gain will happen, okay? It is normal, but you can minimize it by the foods you eat. So less sugary and salty treats to prevent water retention, okay? No matter what you do, weight fluctuation will happen, but you can prevent it by eating less sugary and salty things. Probably that week is when you crave it the most. So maybe figuring out different foods or having more fruit, things like that can help, but just know it's not fat, okay? It's simply water weight most of the times. So when your period comes and it fluctuates, this is more of just understanding that this is very normal. You can't prevent it from happening, but you can minimize the amount by managing these two things, okay? Now, second one, which is pretty big, is stress, okay? Cortisol is your stress hormone, which means when stress is high, this spikes and can cause weight fluctuation. Not fat, just a hormonal impact. Can cause water retention and bloating, okay? Again, it's more so water weight than anything else. Having a stress management system would be the best way to battle this. So a morning and nighttime routine, I'll go over that in the sleep section to kind of go into that a little bit in depth. But a big one is create a list of controllable and non-controllables, right? What are the things that are in your control? What are the things you're stressing about that are out of your control? When you can let go of the things that are out of your control, your stress will drop down because it knows and you understand that, hey, no matter what I do, that won't get fixed. So let me just let it be, let it go. I'm going to just do what I can do and focus on things that I can change. When you focus on things you can change, more positive outcomes happen, right? Stress goes down, which means your weight will come down, water retention will come down, bloating will come down. Your body will function a little bit better as per usual, right? Another one is breath work. And I'm not talking about doing like 30 minutes. I'm just saying, hey, you know what? Like, for example, for me, when I was stressed out, I had to go to work, and when I was a server specifically, right? I did not want to go do a 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. shift, but it had to happen. And I was stressed, I was exhausted, I was anxious to start it because I was dealing with a lot of other stuff. So what I did was simply just start breathing. And some of the things that you could do is breathe in for 8 seconds, breathe out for like 5 seconds, right? You can do 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, through the nose, out the mouth, right? Any type of breath work that literally takes like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, do it. It helps a lot. It manages your stress so much. Just taking a breath and relaxing and understanding, hey, you know what? Nothing is the end of the world here. When you realize that really all it takes is understanding your breath work to help you really minimize stress, things go really well. And again, I'm not that guy that's going to do 30 minutes. I'll do 2 minutes of breath work and that's it. That's it. I don't do it as much anymore because I've really gotten better at understanding what's in my control and what's out of my control. So my stress has gone down tremendously, but the breath work can help. Okay, so taking some time for you as well, right? It can be an hour a day, 10 minutes, and a whole day. Just take a step back, look at your list, and recalculate how to approach what you were stressing about, right? Because chances are the pattern you've had so far dealing with stress has not been helping. So take a step back, take a deep breath, write out the list, and understand, hey, you know what? If I want to change, if I want my health to change, if I want the weight fluctuation to happen less, I need to approach things differently, right? There's no magic. There's no pill. There's no supplement. Nothing is going to necessarily help a weight fluctuation besides just taking accountability for what you can manage. That will definitely help your stress. And you'll find that Most of the non-controllables are like 90% of the things we stress about, and it doesn't need to be stressed about. And when you put all your effort into the controllable items, your stress will go down, your cortisol will come down, which means bloating will come down, your water retention will come down, and weight will come down. Okay? Next, the weekend freaking binge, guys. Okay? I know we've all been here. Okay? We see cake, we see eclairs, we see donuts, cookies, everything. It sucks. Okay? Well, it tastes good, but the after effect sucks. Okay, so number one cause of weight fluctuation is always the amount of food you consume on the weekend. Hands down, this is probably one of the biggest ones. People usually eat an extra 3,000 to 6,000 calories, which neglects the whole deficit in the week. You guys don't understand, but a lot of you that are dealing with fluctuations or have dealt with in the past, even myself, when I used to do big binges, I would eat about 3,000, like somewhere in between this range. It is a lot of food, and you do this on a weekly basis. This is what leads to weight gain on Sunday and Monday. And over the course of a month, this will start to increase your weight in fat tissue, right? Which means that now you are actually increasing fat. But the fluctuation is going to happen every Sunday, Monday. You might go up 5 pounds, 10 pounds, right? After a few weeks of continuously eating like even an extra 2,000 calories a weekend. Like it's a lot of food that sometimes you don't understand. Oh, wow, that was a lot. You might have forgot the extra 2 cookies you had on top of the 2 you already had. You might have forgot the extra piece of cake. Maybe you had 5 pieces of fried chicken. You thought you only had 3. All these things, when you're not tracking certain things at a certain point in your fitness journey, can cause you to eat a lot more than you think you are. Okay, so you need to have a plan for eating out. How do you avoid that weight fluctuation in the morning on the Sunday, Monday? How do you avoid that, continuous weight gain over time? Only eat protein, veggies, and fruits before the night out, right? I tell my clients just lower your carbs as well. You can have a little bit, you don't have to eat all of it, but the main thing is eat your protein, veggies, and fruits before the night out, and you're gonna have something off track, right? Not in the world. I eat out quite a bit, but I just manage what I'm eating throughout the day. Okay, don't eat until you feel gross. Just have an entree and occasionally have a dessert. Okay, you don't need to have a dessert and appetizer every single time you go out. One, just having the entree will save you money. And 2, it'll save you on calories, a lot of calories, okay? And even when you do order out, the entree, make sure it's high protein. Add some protein into it, whether it's chicken, beef, fish, tofu, soy, like whatever it is, add protein into it, okay? So it fills you up a little bit more. You can eat out a few times a week, but just pick one of those times to have a cheat on your diet, okay? Not every time you go out has to be a cheat meal in the week. Just pick one of them and have fun with it. But make sure you have the protein, veggies, and fruits before going out, and don't starve yourself. Don't not eat before you head out of town, okay? Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna be starving. You're gonna eat with your stomach and your eyes, both of them together, going at the food, going at the menu, not gonna be good. So eat the protein, veggies, and fruits before you leave the house. Have a protein shake if you can before you leave. And that way when you get there, you're not going to be like, oh my God, I need appetizer, I need an entree, I need dessert, I need another appetizer. You just are probably going to have an entree and you're going to be good. Maybe you have a bite or two of a dessert you share with a friend or family. Amazing. You don't need the whole dessert either, okay? And drink more water to help you stay full, right? Throughout the night, have more water. But in the day, have more water. These things right here will help you tremendously when it comes to the binge on the weekend. It's pre-planning so you don't go off plan and you don't end up gaining weight every single weekend, and the fluctuation is minimized every single week. Low quality of sleep, a very underrated one, but this is also a huge factor of how much weight you will lose, plateau at, or fluctuate in. All of them, right? Low quality or hours of sleep will have increased cortisol, okay? Less serotonin in the day for more energy, which means you won't have better workouts, right? If you have less serotonin in the day because your sleep quality is low, you're not going to have the energy or even consistency or motivation to want to go work out, which means your workout quality is going to be terrible. You're not going to see the gains you want to see. You're not going to see the weight come down or the fat come down and the muscle increase. Your body never has time to rest, which makes it go into survival mode all day. And it holds on to stored energy such as fat. Well, not such as, it is fat, right? When you're in survival mode because your body didn't get enough rest and it's just going, it's trying to hold on to all the energy that you have in your body so that you can function, that you can just stay up and go about your day, even though you must feel exhausted, right? And when it happens and when it holds on to the energy and it holds on to excess energy, it's just keeping it in your body, the fat, right? So you got to make sure that sleep is good, okay? So how do we deal with it, right? Because poor sleep means it will be very hard to build muscle and lose fat, which causes plateaus and partial fluctuations, probably between 1 to 3 pounds from what I've seen. So a big one is having a nighttime and morning routine, like I said before. So what exactly does that mean? Something you do in the same order every single night before bed to release melatonin before bed. Okay. Don't know why I said before bed twice, but you get the point here, right? The goal of better sleep is having melatonin release in your body, right? That means you will have a higher quality of sleep, a deeper sleep. You'll have less stress when you wake up. You'll feel more energized. So what do I mean by that? This doesn't mean you have to have a 1 hour routine where you do the same thing every single night. No. All this means is that you need to have maybe even a 10-minute routine. Mine is like a 20-minute routine. For example, for me, I brush my teeth, wash my face, go to the washroom, moisturize my body. I turn off the light. Actually, even before the light, I take off my glasses, take off my earring, turn off the light, go into my bed. I'll put on like a YouTube video and I am passed out because my body recognizes as soon as I start to brush my teeth, wash my face, go to the washroom, it's like, oh, you're getting ready to go to sleep because this is what you do every single night in the exact same order. It could be 10 minutes. It could take you 20 minutes, but it doesn't have to be long. It just has to be efficient for where you are in your life. It could take you an hour. You could, do a whole spiel for an hour. Or if you have kids and you're busy and, you got a lot going on, just do a 10-minute one. Same thing in the exact same order every single night. So when you get into your bed, it's releasing the melatonin and it's signaling, hey, I'm ready to sleep. I'm going to shut off my brain. I'm going to relax. I'm going to get better quality, right? It might not mean right away you're going to get, 8 hours of great sleep. You might only get 6 hours of great sleep, but that's better than 4 or 5 that you might currently be dealing with. So increasing that sleep to about 7 to 8, obviously 8 is ideal, 8 to 9 is perfect, but in a perfect world, that's not what we live in, right? 9 hours of sleep. I mean, if you're getting that, more power to you, but 7 to 8 is great. But yeah, that's what you kind of want to do, right? The same thing every single night. It gives your body some normalcy so it can function better, right? When you're going through your day and you're already dealing with so much crap and so much, just things that come out of the blue all the time, your body just wants to end the day with some kind of normalcy to give it the ability to function better the next day with the rest you get. Okay, so low quality sleep will impact the fluctuation, increase it by having a nighttime routine and a morning routine. So just do the same thing when you wake up every single morning as well. But I would say the nighttime one is the most important one. Okay. Last is sugar. Okay. Part of the weekend binge, but also late night binging on weekdays, right? The sweet treats. People consume an average 17 teaspoons of sugar a day, so 270 calories before the binge. Add another 500 calories worth of sugar from binge eating because that's going to add an extra 770 calories. I'm not saying you do this every day. You might do this once a week, twice a week probably, right? You add that with the weekend binge, these calories add up, okay? Because over time, this can add 1 pound a week, maybe 2 to 5 pounds a week, right? It just depends how much you're eating. 5 pounds is very extreme. I don't think, you're probably getting that much in a week, but I would say 1 to 2 pounds a week, you do that over a course of 40 weeks, you're anywhere from 40 to 80 pounds overweight now, right? So you've got to manage the sugar. So how do you prevent this happening on a, every other day or 1 to 2 time a week basis? Create different activities for handling stress. Sugar is probably one of the things that most people will go to, including myself in the past. When I'm stressed, overwhelmed, I would go to sugar because it was comfort. It allowed me to be like, okay, I'm dealing with all this crap. This is something for me now. At the end of the day, I can have this, right? But what I didn't realize was after about 2 months, I was like, oh, it's packing on, man. That donut, I can see it in the love handles. The cookies, I could see it now. My skin wasn't as good as it used to be. My energy throughout the day was terrible, which meant my motivation was worse. I'm not saying we should ever rely on motivation, but sometimes a little nice kick helps, but it's hard to have it when you're fueling yourself with garbage, right? I still love sugar. I still have a little bit of sugar every day, but it's not even close to 17 tablespoons, right? It's probably like 5 at the most on some days. So you got to create different activities for handling stress. So now, for me, I'm not saying this is what you can do, but for me specifically, I like to go do activities. So I'll, reach out to some friends and I'll be like, hey, do you guys want to go play soccer? Or honestly, recently I've been playing pickleball. That sport is fun. Or just things like that. I go do activities. I actually expend my stress as opposed to eating my stress. You could read a book. You could go for a walk. You could go shopping if you want. I mean, you could do something, but just don't go to food when you were stressed. Try to figure out what triggers your stress and expend it somewhere else. Okay. You can also just start with zero sugar options or high protein or, high protein bars. I meant to say high protein, bar. I don't know why I said it like that, but anyways, protein bars and protein shakes. Okay. Because a lot of them are good. Grenade is a good brand, Bearbell, Muscle Tech for protein powder, Perfect Sport for, protein powder. Those are sweet treats that have high protein that can satiate that craving, right? Hey, you know what? I'm not going to grab the chocolate bar. I'm going to grab this protein bar that actually tastes good. Those are some of my favorite brands. Quest, Zentine, like all these things. So you can even reach out to me and ask me, hey, like I deal with a lot of this binge eating stuff or the stress of sugar or even saltiness or salty stuff, right? Or you can reach out to me. I'll give you a list. I have so many lists and free resources I give out to help you guys as well. Another one is just learning sweet treat and food recipes. Okay, that's probably the one that's most people aren't gonna do, but I would say it'll help a lot in the long run, right? It'll help you with other factors of your nutrition, right? Understanding your calories and macros, but just learning how to make sweet treat and food recipes healthier, more low calorie will help tremendously because you can grab that. Maybe instead of a 400 calorie donut, you're gonna have a 150 calorie donut that you found a recipe for that maybe packs like 8 grams of protein. So it's better to have that than having a full out donut. And honestly, another one that's super simple is increase your protein and water, right? Protein and water are probably the two most underconsumed nutrient dense things you need, right? I mean, water is just good for your body. You need it. You're 60% water, so you need it to function, and your muscle is 75% water. You need it to build. And protein's just there. Okay, you need protein. It is mandatory you eat protein every day. So one, it'll help you feel satiated, right? More protein equals you're going to feel more full, and more water just helps you feel more full. And then two, you're going to build muscle and you're just going to fuel yourself better. You're going to be able to have more energy to expend and to go have fun doing other things to get you to your goals. Okay. So those are the 5 things. And if you manage those things, this is what happens, right? The bloating goes down. She had PCOS, so she struggled a lot with this stuff. But look, waist got snatched. She felt amazing. Mom of 2, works insane amount of hours, lost a lot of that tummy, right? A lot of the bloating, a lot of the fat came down because we managed the binge, we managed the stress, we managed all these other factors, got better sleep. If both of them can do it, right? She doesn't have kids, works full time. She has 2 kids, works full time. They both did it. It is manageable. If you need help, you can always reach out. We can talk about how to do it. But for now, those 5 things that you need to look out for, I'll go back to it actually because I don't think I made a last slide for it. Period. Don't worry. Okay, you can't. It's not like you're gonna really change that, but just understand that it happens. But managing your stress, managing the weekend binge, managing your sleep, and managing your sugar will tremendously help the fluctuations stop, as well as just making sure you feel better, to have more energy, to have better workouts, to really just get to where you want to get to. So it's 1% better every day. Focus on one thing at a time to tackle, right? And you will get yourself to where you want to get to. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helped a lot, cleared some things up for you guys, and maybe made some realizations that can help you along your journey. And hey, you know what? Subscribe. I would love it. That's the first time I'm ever saying this. I want to start a YouTube channel. I'm starting with these videos. They're not perfect, but they help a lot. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so subscribe, like, comment, do all that stuff. Let me know in the comments if you have any other topics you want to talk about for food and nutrition, fat loss, muscle building, whatever it is. And I got you guys. All right, I'll see you next week on the next one.